All right, this is my Hobie Pro Angler 14360 XR, the brand new Hobie Pro Angler for 2024. All right, guys, before we continue with the video, I want to preface something because I know there's going to be comments down there. I know there's people that are going to probably skip over this and they're going to comment it anyway, but I want to make these things known. One, you do not need to have a setup like this to go out and catch fish from the kayak. You do not need it. This video is simply what you could do with a kayak. This is the very extreme level. There's even more things you could do it that I have not done. I'm very fortunate to work with some great brands, great companies that help supply me with these things for this kayak. So again, you do not need these things. The very rare times do I come out and go fishing with all of these things on at once. All you need is a paddle, a PFD, a kayak, and a fishing pole, and you can go catch some fish. So you do not need all the fancy gadgets, technology, everything like that to go out and catch fish. And then as well as if you're in a tournament, you do not need it to be competitive. So before I get the just get a boat comments, these are just things that you can do with a kayak. So I'm simply just showing what's possible. Let's get into the setup. We'll go through the differences, but I figured it's been long overdue. So we're gonna go through how I set up this bad boy and my reviews on the PA XR. All right, so let's start from the back. We have the brand new NK180 Pro from Newport. And so far, this thing, from my previous motor, it was a Torpedo. It is much quieter, much more powerful. I can go faster and I can go longer. So all of that is also due to the fact that I have it connected to 24-volt system to an X2 Power 24-volt battery. Obviously it says 25.6 here, but it's essentially a 24-volt lithium battery from X2 Power. You can actually save some dollars down below on a link to X2 Power. From there, I got all the wiring and everything that comes up. A little bit of a mess right now, but it was basically ran that way to be flexible in case we needed to change anything out and we needed any power to come up front. We got our tackle storage back here, rods, of course. So all that, you know, just the different things that we have tackle storage wise. I'll link all of this stuff down below for you guys so you can go and see it, grab some if you'd like. We have our Railblaza camera mount here. That these mounts are super clutch. They're a little bit harder than a ram mount to put on, but it's basically just a screw and a screw. But these are lock freaking tight, and super easy to lock on. Basically, to unlock this, I just push that tab over, and voila! Now you're out and you're looking at me. And basically, to install, you just put that bad boy in there, lock, good to go. So I have that on that side, and then as well as another one on that side. Might be adding more just for different camera mounts, different angles. But like I said, the X2 Power lithium to power my Newport motor, excuse me. We have our seat here that has some extra batteries, waterproof stuff for my truck keys, and then some different necessities like sunscreen, bug spray, things like that. We have our throttle for the Newport right here rigged up on the side, as well as my steering for the Newport right here as well. Of course, got PFD, most important part of the kayak. 2 kayak cushions. Here I got one to obviously to sit on, one for my back. Shout out to the folks at Kayak Cushion that made me a pretty dope custom Serious Angler podcast backrest kayak cushion. That thing's freaking sick. And then we get up to the interesting part, which is the electronics. And of course, we'll get over to this side a little bit, but the electronic part, I think, is what a lot of people might be curious about. We have a Humminbird Helix 10 and a Humminbird Apex 13. Yeah, it's a big screen. It really doesn't seem like it though when you're actually comparing it, but it's a great screen, more screen size from an actual dimension standpoint, so I can use that strictly just for Humminbird Mega Live, which I have right here rigged up on a Sniper marine mount. Basically, this is just you put that on and you swivel it like you do a motorcycle, and that's how you can change your transducer Got my mount for it rigged right here right next to me. I need to get the shorter one. I went the longer one on accident, but the short, I've had this for probably 2 years now, and it's been perfectly fine. And so my Helix 10 runs all my side imaging, mapping, all the other sonar beyond forward facing and 360. And over there you can see that little module right here. That is basically to pull up that string for my Newport, to kick it up like I am as such. Basically all I got to do is take this green and blue handle, this blue handle and that gray cord, and just pull it, and that'll drop down. We'll be good to motor off. Of course, got the 360 pedals. Now the thing that powers these bad boys is down here. We have a 50 amp X2 power lithium that's in here that runs all my electronics. But I do have also an X2 power 20 amp that's rigged up to this bad boy right here. So what I can do with this, and I'll overlay some clips from this morning, is basically I have lights on the front, I have lights on the front hatch, and lights on the back hatch. Essentially what I do is you turn this on, you can see that light up. Right now the only one that's red is 2. Now 2 goes back to my GoPro. That's what's charging my GoPro via this port right in here. You can see that USB that's going into that little port there on the side. I also have one of those Yak power ports right here if I want to run a front GoPro on that real Blazer mount there, which that's pretty dang clutch. So I have all that here in the hatch below me, super lightweight being lithium. But those lights are sick for, one, being legal for running lights, but also having this light up so I can have some workspace when it's dark out in the morning. You know, whether it's scoring fish when it's, you know, we have tournaments that are in early morning dark, or simply rigging tackle before we have takeoff, things like that. They really clutch. Plus it also looks freaking cool. We got our tool set up. I love how the Hobie Pro Angler is, and Hobie in general, in regards to their just the engineering and craftsmanship of being able to put different things different places, tool wise and storage. Super handy that way. Just like this Yak Gear satchel deal, I'll link this down below as well, where I can put my super glue, extra scissors, you know, different markers, Nico stuff, and then I actually have more storage inside. This actually zips open, so I can have that as well. I got that just basically clipped onto this Boondocks mount. Shout out to Boondocks. I don't work with them by any means, but they sent me this because they know I'm an electronics guy. They sent me this baby, and that's the only thing this Apex 13 can actually fit on and be stable. This thing is rock solid. So I have that rigged up there, which is cool because I can put camera mounts, some different things on that Boondocks little strip there. Otherwise, I have the Railblazer hex mount for everything 10 inches and under fish finder wise. That thing is freaking sick. Easily the tightest graph mount I've found for PA and really any kayak that you have for bigger graphs. And of course, got rod storage right there. And then lastly, the last little section of this, we have the front hatch here. And this Christmas lit tree of wiring here. Basically, Morgan Marine is unbelievable with how they do this stuff. Being able to be so organized with this Humber Ethernet port, that saves me a ton of heartache, a ton of trouble. Has everything connected properly. Has my units talking to each other. Have things running smooth. And then the fuse box right here that has everything labeled. Ryan at Morgan Marine did a bang up job with this thing, getting me all set to go on that Yak power system. That's clean, it's organized, it's freaking clutch. Helps me. That is the mother station. So that basically covers the kayak. Of course, there's some different things here and there of different storage options, but for the most part, that is everything that I bring with me. The only thing I'm missing today is that Yak Gear stakeout pole that I bring for shallow water anchor. A couple different things here and there, but beyond that, it's like, you know, drink holder, stuff like that. But that is how I set it up, and it's freaking clutch for me to be able to do exactly what I want to do out here, catching fish, having a good time. And so let's talk about the XR, because if you haven't seen the XR, really the big difference is a couple things. One is these are completely reinforced from the seat. I know some people have broken the hulls before. Of crack the hull, and these are steel reinforcement plates. I believe they're steel, that sit on the bottom for that seat, as well as you can actually pull and lock this system in for the drive and turn the 360 drive into a 180. And to me, that's pretty dang clutch, being able to have the option where if things go wrong, you can switch it up if need be. And so far, my opinions on this baby are, I'm impressed. I'm impressed that it's reinforced. I like that they've listened to the anglers where the pain points have been for breaking Hobies before. Mine leaks a little bit, but I think it's just going to get that with a little bit more weight. But beyond that, I've liked the drive more on the XR than the previous model. I think it's more consistent. It seems more reliable, and we'll do a whole year review once we got that down the road. I definitely beat the crap out of my stuff, so I'll give you guys the honest review, because you can see it started getting some wear and tear here already, being only 4 or 5 months of usage on this thing. I wanted to make sure I did it, and I did this well in regards to using my stuff, getting set up before I gave you guys a walkthrough of everything. That way I wasn't walking through something and then the next video you guys see, I have everything all rigged completely different. The fish are calling my name. Hopefully you enjoyed that setup video. If you have any questions, comment down below. Contact me on Instagram, Facebook, any social media. My email's down below as well. If you guys have any questions, be happy to help you out. But right now, I gotta go fishing. Like, subscribe. See y'all on the next one.